I know that this family wants closure. I follow it, watch it. It's been a battle for me to not call and say something.
Yeah, hit and run drivers, a huge danger to all Utahns. A 2 News investigation found a loophole in the existing law that may have been incentivizing impaired drivers to leave the scene of an accident.
Chief investigative reporter Wendy Halloran joins us with how the law is about to change. Wendy.
Data shows on average there are 13 hit and runs every day in Utah, and a good part of the DUI arrests involve drugs and alcohol both. Not all hit and runs have fatal consequences, but when impaired drivers flee the scene, police are unable to prove impairment because the physical evidence of impairment at the scene vanishes.
I have a brother that lives up in Idaho, and he drove down from Idaho, and we were all there to say our goodbyes and just bless her as much as we could.
July 27, 2024, Lindsay Van Orman saw an injured cat, turned her hazard lights on and got out of her car to help the injured animal. When the driver of a truck hit her and took off, UPD detectives would identify the truck, the driver who hit it and cleaned it. Jonathan Lyman was arrested days after Van Orman was taken off life support.
And I know you've been messing with my phone.
During his interrogation, he denied being the driver.
You know that it struck a pedestrian on 2300 East at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know that it drove all the way back to your house and appeared at your house in the morning. You know all that stuff because you were the one who was driving it. Bullshit.
Lyman ultimately admitted using meth a couple times per day, nearly every day.
When you have drugs in your system,
You make fucking stupid choices. That it is killing you inside. That you had to sit here and tell us stories the whole time when you knew exactly why we were here to talk to you.
yeah.
Convicted of leaving the scene of an accident involving death, a third-degree felony, and obstruction of justice, and sent to prison. Van Orman's dad quoted the judge.
He said, "I sentenced you to the maximum that I can under the law. There's no more that I can do."
He says it adds insult to tragedy.
A third-degree felony carries the same consequences as somebody that would steal a catalytic converter.
Current law treats fatal hit and run as a third-degree felony. Fleeing can result in a lesser penalty than staying at the scene. State Representative Steve Ellison got House Bill 423 passed into law.
And we've named this bill after Lindsay and Van Orman.
If you are involved in a hit and run and there's injury or death, that you're going to get the exact same penalty as a DUI, and we don't have to prove that the person was intoxicated because we're pretty much making that assumption. Because why else would somebody leave the scene?
The law goes into effect on July 1st. It will align penalties for fatal hit and run with automobile homicide, a second-degree felony. Is this enough? Does it have enough teeth?
It's a big step in the right direction of sending a loud and clear message that driving while impaired is not acceptable and you will be punished. But suffice it to say, it's still not enough.
Stiffer penalties not in time for the man who killed Lindsay, but her dad hopes it will benefit new victims.
The grief is just such a heavy weight to bear.
When this new law goes into effect, repeat offenders who have already been convicted of DUI or hit and run and cause another hit and run, injuring or killing someone, will have 6 hours to report it to law enforcement so they won't face increased penalties. Art Brown with MAD says that is why this law was written, so hit and run drivers can't outrun us anymore. We want them to stop and aid those who've been hit and be accountable for what they've done. Mark, Heidi?